Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Palst here. So happy to see you guys. I'm back at home. I have a book for us today that was given to me by Miss Driscoll. It's called The Name Jar by Young Suk Choi. I'm excited to see what it's about. I do like the illustrations. Very cool. So let's get right into it. Through the school bus window, Yoon-hee looked out at the strange building and houses on the way to her new school. It was her first day, and she was both nervous and excited. First day of school. A new school. Oh, we got an airport here. Okay, that's her family. Her abuela. Hermano, mama, papa. All right. She fingered the little block of wood in her pocket and remembered leaving her grandmother at the airport in Korea. Her grandmother had wiped away Yoon-hee's tears and handed her an ink pad and a small red satin pouch. Your name is inside, she had said. My name? Yoon-hee had wondered. Again, she took out the red pouch to look at the wooden block with her name carved in it. As she ran her fingers along the grooves and ridges of the Korean character, she pictured her grandmother's smile. Yeah, those faces don't look so happy. The body language we've talked about tells us a lot, right? How people use their eyebrows, right? Just a look can tell you so much. Let's find out what's happening. Is that thing for show and tell? A boy asked Yoon-hee, surprising her. Yoon-hee looked up as more kids leaned over. No, it's mine, Yoon-hee answered, quickly putting the pouch back in her pocket. Are you new here? What's your name? The girl asked. Yoon-hee, said Yoon-hee. Une? The girl asked, scratching up her face. Oh, ne? Some kids chanted. No, Yoon-hee corrected. It's spelled U-N-H-E-I. It's pronounced Yoon-hee. Oh, yo, hey, the boy said. Like, yo, hey! What about you? Hey, yo! Hey, you! Just then, the bus pulled up to the school, and the doors opened. Yoon-hee hurried to get off. Yo, hey! Bye-bye! The kids yelled as she left. Yoon-hee felt herself blush. That's not good. They sit in rows like we do. Is there a new teacher, right? Eun-hye stood in the doorway of her new and noisy classroom. She was relieved that the kids on the bus had gone to other rooms, but her face still felt red. Aren't you going in? Asked a curly-haired boy with lots of dots on his face. You're the new girl, right? He asked cheerfully. Eun-hye nodded, and before she could walk away, the boy took her hand and pulled her through the door. Here's the new girl, he announced so loudly that the teacher, Mr. Kokotos, almost dropped his glasses. Mr. Kokotos thanked him and greeted Yoon-hye. Please welcome our newest student, he said to the class. She and her family just arrived from Korea last week. And he smiled broadly and tried not to show her nervousness. What's your name? Someone shouted. Unhei pictured the kids on the bus. I haven't picked one out yet, she told the class. But I'll let you know by next week. As Mr. Kokoto showed her to her desk, she felt many round, curious eyes on her. Why doesn't she have a name? She heard someone whisper. Maybe she robbed a bank in Korea and needs a new identity, the boy replied. Those look like dumplings. I think they are dumplings. Very cool. On the bus home, nobody teased her, but Yoonhae kept thinking about her name. How was school, Yoonhae? Her mother asked when she walked in. Did you understand the teacher? Yoonhae simply nodded. She unpacked her school bag and set the red pouch by a photograph of her grandmother. I'm glad you're learning English well, her mother said. You must study hard, behave nicely, and get good grades to show that you're a good Korean. I will, replied Yoonhae. But I think I would like my own American name, she said quickly. Her mother looked at her with surprise. Why? Yoonhae is a beautiful name. Your grandmother and I went to a name master for it. But it's so hard to pronounce, Yoonhae complained. I don't want to be different from all the American kids. You are different, Yoonhae, her mother said. That's a good thing. Yoonhae just wrinkled her nose. Oh, there's so much going on in this picture. It looks like she lives in like a city. If I were to guess, I would say like Flushing, Queens. There's like a lot of shops there, a lot of people. Maybe they'll tell us. Later that day, Yoonhae and her mother went grocery shopping in their new neighborhood. They passed Fidel's Falafel, Tony's Pizza, and Dot's Deli. A big graffiti-painted garbage truck roared like a lion as it took off down the street. Nothing sounded or looked familiar until they got to Kim's Market. The sign was both in English and Korean. Her mother picked up cabbage to make kimchi, Korean-style spicy pickled cabbage, and other vegetables and meat. She also found some seaweed, Unhee's favorite for soup, and made Unhee smile. Just because we moved to America, her mother said, doesn't mean we stop eating Korean food. I like the neighborhood. At the checkout counter, a friendly man smiled at Unhee. Helping your mother with the shopping? He asked, and he nodded. I am Mr. Kim, he said. And what is your name? Unhee, she answered. Ah, what a beautiful name, he said. Doesn't it mean Grace? Unhee nodded again. My mother and grandmother went to a name master for it, she told him. A graceful name for a graceful girl, Mr. Kim said, as he put the groceries into the bags. Welcome to the neighborhood, Unhee. That evening, Unhee stood in front of the bathroom mirror. Hi, my name is Amanda, she said cheerfully. Then she wrinkled her nose. Hi, my name's Laura. Maybe not. Her smile turned down. Nothing sounded right. Nothing felt right. I don't think American kids will like me, she worried as she began to brush her teeth. Ha-i-mani i-shuzi, she said to the mirror with her mouth full of toothpaste. Sounds Korean. Look at that. What do you think her plan is? You can say it right now. I can read your lips. Okay, I'll talk about it. The next morning, when Yoonhee arrived at school, she found the glass jar on her desk with some piece of paper in it. Yoonhee took out one and read it aloud. Daisy. That's my baby sister's nickname, but she said you can use it if you want, said Cindy, who sat next to her. Yoonhee took out the rest of the paper. Tamela, she read. I got it from a storybook, said Nate. She was smart and brave. Yoonhee nodded and unfolded another piece of paper. Wednesday. Yeah, you came here on a Wednesday, said Ralph. Thank you for your help. A smile spread over Yoonhee's face. Ralph quickly said, We'll put more names in. You can pick whatever you like, or pick them all. You have the longest name in history. Oh, look at that. At 3 o'clock, the bell rang for the end of the school day. Yoonhee looked out the window and saw it was sprinkling. It's the same rain, she thought, but in a different place. She watched other kids leaving in groups. Hey! A familiar voice called out to her. Yoonhee turned around to see the curly-haired boy again. I'm Joey, he said. And you? Do you have any name? Yoonhee thought for a moment. Well, I can show you, she said, and took out the small red pouch. She pressed the wooden blocks on the ink pad and stamped it on a piece of paper. This is my name stamp, she said. My grandmother gave it to me in Korea. I can use it as a signature when I open a bank account or write a letter. And whenever I miss my grandma, I used it to fill a piece of paper. Want to try it? She offered the stamp to Joey, and he carefully inked the stamp and pressed it hard on the paper. The red character gleamed against the whiteness. Wow, that's beautiful, Joey said. Can I keep the paper? Sure, he said, and the two of them shared their umbrella as they walked to the school bus. Every day the jar got fuller with more names, and Yoonhee read them all. She found the few names she liked. Miranda, Stella, Avery. They sounded interesting. I hope you choose the name I put it in, Marco told her at the snack time. I put in 3 more, said Ralph. Madison Park and Lex. They're my favorite street names. Maybe you should close your eyes and draw a name, Rosie suggested. Ralph frowned. That's silly. What if she doesn't like the name she draws? Well, we didn't get to choose our names when we were born, did we? Rosie argued. Everyone thought about this. When Yoonhee got home from school that day, her little brother ran to give her a letter. It was from Grandma. She opened it quickly. It said, To my Eunhee, I hope you enjoy your new school and new friends. Be sure to help your mother and your little brother. Here the moon is up, but there the sun is up. No matter how far apart we are, and no matter how different America is from Korea, you will always be my Eunhee, your grandmother forever. Winnie took out her wooden stamp and filled a paper with it. She thought for a long time in front of the bathroom mirror. On Saturday, Eunhee walked to Mr. Kim's store. Mr. Kim was helping a customer, but he looked up and greeted her. Hi, Eunhee. Hello, Mr. Kim, Eunhee replied. She felt as if she was back in her old neighborhood in Korea. Hey, said the customer, turning around. It was Joey. Your name is Un-hei, he asked her with his eyes open wide. When he looked quickly at Mr. Kim, then turned to Joey. Slowly nodded. Yes, it's pronounced Yun-hei. And it means grace, Mr. Kim added. Yun-hei, Joey said slowly. This time perfectly. It made Yuni smile. I'll have it ready for you tomorrow, said Mr. Kim to Joey. Thank you, Mr. Kim. See you Monday, Uni, Joey said to her. He left before she could ask him why he was at the store. Now look at this. A lot of activity in this picture. Picture tells 1,000 words. You can tell something's going on. What do you think's happening in this picture before we read the words? You can say it. Keep microphones off, but you can say it aloud. Read your lips. All right, I'll say. On Monday, when he came to class early to look at the names one last time, but the jar wasn't on her desk. Instead, there was just a single piece of paper with a name on it. Uni slipped it in her pocket. Where's your name jar? Ralph asked as soon as he saw it was gone. I don't know, Uni said. It wasn't on Mr. Kokoto's desk or on any desk, and it wasn't on the counters or any of the shelves. As other kids arrived, they helped look. Soon Mr. Kokotos came in and Ralph shouted at him.